But them Flintstones cars was kind of fly with the fucking, like, the overhead shit, the drop top shit, nigga. You leaving the fucking stone quarry, you got you hop in the fucking shit, and you just scooting, nigga. That shit was hard. Yo, this episode is sponsored by a homie at the bodega that doesn't work there, but kind of works there, but almost certainly doesn't work there. He's never behind the counter, probably smoking a cigarette, and might even be drinking a beer on the clock. You kind of want to ask him, like, do you actually work here? But you'll never ask, and he'll probably never tell. Why? Because he knows where everything is in the store and how much it costs. And if Poppy ain't there, he'll probably go behind the counter and make you a sandwich. Is he legally allowed to do that? We'll never know. But we appreciate him, even if the owner of the store doesn't. Welcome to episode 9 of Nobody Asked Shawn. I'm your host, Shawn Murray. If you want to send in questions for Nobody's Asked Shawn, send it to Nobody Asked Shawn on Instagram or nobodyasksean@gmail.com. This episode, I want to get right into it because I was attacked over the weekend. I was attacked by a friend of mine. I thought he was a friend of mine. He called me. He said, yo, you sounded like a real Uncle Tom-ass Republican on that last episode. I said, me? Socialist Shawn, me? I sounded like a Republican. He said, you was in there talking about don't support black businesses. I said, whoa, when, yo, show me an episode when I said do not support black businesses. He was talking about, you said, you supposed to support a business because it's black? I was like, yeah, I'm not. So let me clear some things up. I'm not saying don't support black businesses. I think you should support black businesses. Even more importantly, I think you should support local black businesses and local businesses in general. My point was, a lot of motherfuckers will use the fact that they're a black business as a way to perpetuate the same shit that we hate from white businesses or just global kind of fucking overlord corporations. So I'm not saying don't support black businesses. I'm saying be particular about the black businesses that you choose to be a patron of. That's all I'm saying. Come on now. We know all skin folk ain't kinfolk. I ain't teach you nothing new. But we're going to move on to pressing business. Women's History Month rolls along. Women's History. So continuing in honor of Women's History Month, we're going to crown this week's Nobody Asked Shawn Woman of the Week. This week's Nobody Asked Shawn Woman of the Week goes to the first woman who ever gave a nigga in the club their phone number, and it was only 6 digits. This is a genius move. I can't even fathom how smart that shit was because, first of all, 6 digits, you know what I mean? Nigga in the club, this ain't really time for fact checking. Niggas ain't gonna really go be in the club doing a deep dive on these numbers and make sure each one is all 7 digits there. And then second of all, it's a mind game, right? Because the nigga gonna get home and he gonna see his 6 digits and be like, fuck. And then I know some thirsty ass nigga gonna think he gonna figure out what the 7th digit was, but it's perfect because, like, did she leave off a 0 at the end? Did she leave off a 3 at the beginning? Is there a 4 in the middle? You know what I mean? You'll never know. You would have to go through so many fucking combinations of numbers to finally find a number. And then even if you ended up finding a number, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, just chalk it up. It ain't worth it, bro. Like, why would you even want to find out the number at that point? You know what I mean? When you see it's 6 digits on that paper, you gotta be like, you know what? Waiter, wrap this up and put it on my card. Charge it to the game. You just gotta charge that to the game, bro. She got you, bro. I love that because it's a perfect strategy. Because in the moment, 99.99% of the time, the motherfucker not even gonna realize it. So you could get out of that situation, and everybody leaves happy. You ain't gotta speak to this nigga ever again. And he about to go back to his homies like, yeah, I pulled another one. You feel me? You see that right there? Yo, where'd she go? So I just think that was, I think you, young lady, whoever you are out there, we don't know your name, we don't know your face, but we know your contributions and we know your legacy. We salute you, and you are this week's Nobody Asked Shawn Woman of the Week. Vaccinations are rolling out, nigga, and let me say this to everybody who's listening. Get the vaccination if you can. If you're a healthy person and if you fit within the demographics of people who can get the vaccination, get the vaccination. I know a lot of people, and I'm not even just gonna say black people. I know people of all races who be like, I ain't taking no vaccine. It's like, why not? Everyone has this distrust of the government, which is valid and necessary. But my thing is, at this point in human society, especially in a first world country or developed country, whatever the term may be, the government has already won. You can resist as much as you want, but the government already won. Like, niggas be saying, oh, I'm not getting a vaccine because the government's going to put a chip in you. You hold on a cell phone. You're tweeting about how the government's going to put a chip in you to track you as you're on a cell phone, which the government is tracking. We know all this information about what the government is doing with our information, bro. Edward Snowden and Chelsea Manning went down for this shit years ago. They exposed this shit, and it didn't even matter because we all collectively say, oh, shit, they spying on us? Yo, did we order an Alexa yet? Like, we just went back to our normal lives because, first of all, we all kind of already suspected that shit. And second of all, what are we gonna do? Either you're extremely online or you're not. Either you connected or you're not. And either way, you can't win unless you just throw it all away. And most of us are not willing to do that, myself included. Much as I try to be at odds with the status quo, we all victims to this shit. I know some of you thinking, I don't think the government's trying to put a chip in me. I just think they're trying to put something in me that I don't like, bruh. If they ever want to do it, it's probably already been done. Like, niggas like, I'm not getting a vaccination. Dog, you already vaccinated. You're vaccinated. You got the measles vaccination, you got the mumps, you got rubella, all that shit. They had you since you was a baby if they was really putting shit in the vaccination. On top of that, there's so many other ways to attack a community that don't involve having people voluntarily get in line to be attacked. You know what I mean? Like, first of all, let's say they wanted to attack black communities, right? Why wouldn't they just poison our food? Most black people live around other black people, right? So let's say there's like a part of town in like Detroit where a lot of black people live, and there's a supermarket in that part of Detroit. Most of the black people in Detroit are going to go to that supermarket. So we could just poison the food. We could just poison the water. We could poison the air, which isn't to say I don't think hesitation to get a vaccine is unfounded. Yeah, I mean, this shit rolled out pretty quickly. But what else do you want? You want to go back to the beach? You want to go back to that nasty-ass water park that you love so much? You want to go back to the DR and get your ass shots? This is what is necessary to do that, to move forward. And again, you've already been vaccinated before. This ain't something new. And to people who will cite the Tuskegee experiment and say, the government gave black people syphilis in the Tuskegee experiment, do your research. Again, I'm not trying to advocate for the U.S. government. Don't fuck with them any more than you do. But the idea that the government gave black people syphilis in the Tuskegee experiment is factually inaccurate. The Tuskegee experiments didn't involve scientists injecting subjects with syphilis. The Tuskegee experiment was really just scientists saying, hey, if you have syphilis, come here and we'll work on treating you. And when in fact, what they were trying to do was to study how syphilis affects the body by not treating these people and running tests on them. So it was never shit. Now, is that fucked up also? Yes, but that's very different than what the popular idea of what the Tuskegee experiments were. And to spread that information will lead to shit like, whoa, the government's going to give us, they're not going to give you a virus. And also, you know what? Like, take your pick. Yeah, I mean, you could either get coronavirus multiple times, possibly, or you can take the vaccine and be much less likely to get the virus. And I know people are going to say it doesn't preclude you from getting the virus. That's all well and good. It's a better chance. I'll take my chances in that way. And ultimately, if you don't want to take the vaccine, that's cool too. Yeah, I mean, everybody got to make their own choice. But just keep that mask on for eternity because I ain't gonna be around you without it, bruh. And that's that. Much love to you though. And finally, before I get to nobody's ass show, I just want to talk about they gotta forgive niggas student loans, bro. Pockets is fucked up out here, and we shouldn't have student loans, bro. And I'm so sick of the argument like that's not fair to the people who had to pay student loans in the past. I mean, first of all, what college loans are now versus what they were 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, etc., are incredibly different. Tuition has steadily increased over the years. So what we would be forgiven for versus what you would be forgiven for is astronomically different. Second of all, it's like, nigga, so what? You had to pay your loan. That's what progress is. When motherfuckers say, oh, people shouldn't have their loans forgiven because the people before them didn't have their loans forgiven, yo, that's just like, that's some hater ass shit for real. Because it's like, what is it with people who want to continue hardships for the people in the future? Can't you just be happy for somebody, bro? If that's how everybody thought about everything, we would never have any progress. Niggas used to be in Flintstones cars where you had to run down the road to make your shit go, and now we got fucking Teslas, nigga. And isn't that better? You gonna tell me I can't have a Tesla because the niggas used to be in Flintstones cars? I know this is a silly analogy because Flintstones cars aren't real, but a better analogy is not funny, so I'm running with this one. Let niggas have Teslas and not have to run on the fucking stone ground with their feet in a Flintstones car. Even though the Flintstones cars was kind of fly with the fucking, like the overhead shit, the drop top shit, nigga. You leaving the fucking stone quarry, you hop in the fucking shit, you just scooting, nigga. That shit was hard. But anyway, my point is, what was my point? My point is, that's what progress is about. Sometimes people gonna benefit from shit that you ain't get to benefit from, and that's just how it is. Shit gets better, and you just gotta be okay with it getting better, and bad luck that you wasn't born in a time when shit was better. Like, here's a less silly analogy. The right to vote, for example. If you was born in a time when you weren't able to vote, and then suddenly they passed a law that now people of your community, women, black people, whatever, could vote, you gonna hate on the motherfuckers that can vote now and be like, oh, how come they get to vote? We ain't get the chance to vote, so nobody should be able to vote now. Like, just accept, like, damn, I wish I was born 30 years earlier and I would have been fucking living it up, but I'm not. That's how it is. This is my question when people have that stance. Would you have turned it down? In 1307, when you graduated college, if a nigga came up to you and said, yo, you know them 12 silver coins you owe us for college? Keep that. That's all you, bruh. You good. You would be like, nah, I can't. How could it be? The generations before me had it. No, nigga, you'd be like, hell yeah, appreciate it. I know it's only 12 silver coins, but shit, nigga, about to go get me a fucking Flintstone card. You should be glad that niggas like you don't gotta have that same experience. That's just what it is. I'm saying all this as if student loans have been forgiven and they haven't yet. So let's figure something out. You gonna have to run up in the White House with the young me. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to use my money for something other than student loans. I'm trying to go get that BBL. You feel me? All right. Nobody's asked Shawn. Got questions? Once again, send them to Nobody Ask Shawn on Instagram or nobodyaskShawn@gmail.com. This is a question that came in last week, but I didn't get a chance to answer it. What is my ideal Thanksgiving plate? All right, so first and foremost with a Thanksgiving plate, my first round draft pick on a Thanksgiving plate is macaroni and cheese. Macaroni and cheese and like yams. Those are like, I would trade up for the second pick to get macaroni and cheese and yams back to back. Like I need that. That's essential to me. I like the combination of those flavors when they're sitting on the plate next to each other. Delicious. Also, cornbread. But now cornbread, I'm not going to trade up for cornbread because cornbread, there's usually a lot of that going around. There's going to be cornbread left over tomorrow. But niggas might run through that macaroni and cheese and that yams pretty quickly. So you want to slide in there early to lock those down. After that, this is where it kind of goes all over the place. I've had good turkey. I've had bad turkey. So turkey's not necessary. I'll take some deep fried turkey. I'll take some smoked turkey. But I would also take smothered chicken, baked chicken, barbecue chicken, jerk chicken, curry chicken. Because, you know what I mean? I got West Indian roots. And I got just African American roots. So I get a little bit of everything. So I'm gonna need some curry chicken or curry goat too. I'll fuck with some curry goat. Collard greens. I love a good stuffing or dressing, whatever you want to call it. If you're from the South, I know it's dressing, and I don't care. It's got to be, you know what I mean? None of that box shit, man. I like cranberry sauce. Sorry. I fucks with it. I'm not really too picky after that, but that's like the shit that I definitely need, you know what I mean? Actually, you know what? If I can get some oxtail on that plate, that would be ideal. So, okay, oxtail would be like number one choice. In fact, I might have to even go back and make sure oxtail gets on the plate too, because oxtail is so expensive that you ain't gonna have a ton of oxtail to go around. So you want to go back and get that early too. So I might even go oxtail, then macaroni and cheese, and then the yams. But the point is, oxtail is the top tier, my number one choice for protein. That's kind of the plate right there: oxtail, macaroni and cheese, yams, collard greens, stuff with some cranberry sauce, and some goddamn cornbread. You really can't go wrong with that. You know what I mean? I'll get a sparkling cider or something to go as my beverage of choice. If you could move anywhere in the world, where would you go? I don't really have an ideal place. My thing is, why am I moving there? Like a lot of people have this idea, like, I want to go live on the beach. I want to go live in the woods. And then you would get there and it's like, what is here for me? You're going to say, what do you mean what's here for you on the beach? Like, yes, the beach is nice, whatever, but it's like, what is the fucking local economy? Like, what do I have my creature comforts that I enjoy? But more importantly, what do I do here? What's my job here? Why did I come to this place? It can't just because of the weather. Like, there's other factors. What's the rent like? But more importantly, but at the same time, I'm probably somebody who won't ever see as much of the world as I can, or like have as many like out there experiences as I can, because I'm someone who loves my family and friends, and I want to be around my family and friends as much as possible. I'm not like going to move to France because I like France, or move to Dubai, or move to fucking Goa or Bali or Hawaii or something just because like I love the weather or something. Or I just want to be around my peoples, you know what I mean? And that's what means the most to me. If I can move to a place that is nice but also gives me an awesome opportunity, I would move there. But also, I'd probably move to places that's not nice if it gave me a dope like job opportunity. But also, I would be hesitant because like I want my people around, you know what I mean? Next question: top 5 worst rappers you've ever heard. I might have to come back to this one. I want to get the comprehensive list of like the top 5 worst, because here's the thing about like worst rappers is that like if you're a really bad rapper, I probably won't listen to you enough to even like remember you being bad. Like Tyga. I think Tyga's bad, but he makes hits. But I don't think he's like I don't look at Tyga like, yo, this nigga be spitting. You know what I mean? Interesting conversation would be like most improved rappers of all time. I definitely got a couple selections on that front. That's a conversation I'd be interested in having. But also, I want to come back to this top 5 worst rappers thing. I gotta give it some more thought. Also, there's another question somebody asked me, was like top 10 funniest people, famous or nameless, that you know. And I want to do a comprehensive list about that. So I'm going to come back to that too in the future. What's my go-to dance move? I like doing like the little zesty, like Lil Uzi kind of shoulder shit where he's like, that shit is fire, bruh. That might be my go-to. Other than that, I don't know. Like, it just comes out of me. Like, you got to see me at a wedding or something. It just comes out of me. Like, ask about me on the wedding circuit. How to enjoy my water? I like my water cold. Even in the winter, sometimes I like it cold. But room temperature is fine in the winter. But, I mean, in the summer, I need that cold, bruh. I need that cold. How do I pick my tapestries? I just like the trippiest shit. I like something that's visually interesting that's going to pop. I like something that's not too plain. It's got, like, it's eye-catching. Do you really feel like nobody asks you things and you just offer opinions without prompt? Yeah, I do. I mean, that's kind of the idea behind the show. I'm just a talkative person, always have been, so I'm just the type of person who's just gonna let niggas have my opinion whether they ask for it or not. And it's got me in a lot of trouble in the past. It's got me punched in the face before, as my former neighbor in Nigeria could attest to, and many others. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of what it is. But I don't feel bad about, like, oh, nobody ever wants. It's just like, I don't really need nobody to ask me to. And again, it's gotten me into a lot of trouble, but it's also gotten me to 80 followers on Instagram and over 35 subscribers on YouTube. So take that, people who have punched me in the face for my opinions. Now you can laugh at my subscriber numbers. Yo, please subscribe. Try to at least have 100 Instagram followers by episode 10. Can y'all do that for me? Please. 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 That's the end of the segment. That's the end of the episode. Thanks, as always, for tuning in. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being a friend, as the Golden Girls once expressed in their theme song. Sending questions, like and subscribing, all that. And as always, Hulk Hogan, you know we coming for you, nigga.
Over there. I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.